Hey everybody, it's Sabrina Henney live. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. I know you're excited about it being Monday. Let's focus on this being a beginning of an amazing week, and that we're going to transform ourselves and do amazing things this week. I know I talked to a few people that had the Monday blahs, and it was like everything was falling apart. But we must get on the positive side of the pole. I'm trying to think of the law of polarity, which, determines on what part of the pole do you want to be on, the positive side or the negative side. Hey, Stephen, happy Monday to you. Anyway, I'm so excited. I really am. So anyway, I was thinking about some things. Anyway, I was thinking about freedom. Sometimes we say we want this and we want that, and we really need to just be focused on freedom. And I can't help but to think of that music video by George Michael, Freedom, and he's playing his guitar, which is really kind of, interesting. And but I was thinking freedom. Let's focus on freedom. What's going to give us freedom today? Freedom. What's going to be easy? Non-resistant. Because sometimes we talk a lot about resistance. But I was listening to a video by Esther Hicks, and she is an amazing lady. I mean, I've learned a lot from her about the law of attraction, and it does work. But she always says, go with what is good, what makes you feel good. Go with your bliss. Go with what's easy. And sometimes we do things that are hard, and we think it takes a lot of effort or a lot of work to do a lot of the things that we do. But sometimes when I reflect on most of my life and what actually really came easy to me, for example, when I wrote Beyond Success with Sabrina Henney, I mean, there was a little resistance at first. A lot of you know the story about where I applied to do this book deal, and then I had to, and the first time I applied, it was so lengthy, they wanted to know, like, everything, and my computer went haywire, and I was like, you know what? I probably won't get picked anyway. I'm not going to do it. And then something in my head said, well, if you don't redo it, you're always going to wonder if you would have made it. So then I did that lengthy application all over again and told stories about my failures and my successes and all the fun things that I incurred in my life. And when finally I got to my interview, I realized I had a really good chance of being an author because I was kind of what they were looking for. So that is awesome. And anyway, that's what happened. So it didn't take a lot of work. It took some work, and it didn't, but it came easy. And even writing my chapter came really easy to me because I knew exactly what I wanted to write about. Do I kind of regret writing about some of the things I wrote about in there? Probably. If you don't have my book, I really recommend getting it because it's kind of one of those reads. I hope they still like me after they read it. I tell about the worst thing that's ever happened in my life. And please don't judge me, okay? But it is an epidemic because a lot of people go through the same thing. They just don't want to talk about it. It's probably one of the worst times in anyone's life, the situation I went through. But anyway, I chose to talk about it and make an impact. And so, yep, I chose to talk about what was really hard. And I should have talked about, well, I do have another good book in me. I really do. And the second choice I was going to talk about when I failed in network marketing and how I turned it all around and how it actually worked in my favor. But that's what happens when we go through trying times. We go through things that we think are bad situations, and they're really not. Maybe they're setups. Maybe they're setups, and they just look like your life is going to fall apart, when actually it's getting ready to just turn into this amazing rocket and just take you to new levels you've never been before. Life is kind of like a two-edged sword, you know. It's like, you know, whatever comes against you, it's going to turn around. If it looks negative, it's going to turn around. Yep. So anyway, today my message is focus on freedom, focus on ease, focus on your bliss. And when I say bliss, follow your bliss, follow your heart. Go with things that make you friggin' happy. Why is it that we don't do things that make us happy? Now, I watched a video with this guy talking about, oh, you shouldn't buy the Gucci pocketbook. You should save that money because it's not going to give you the freedom that you need. Well, what about happiness? What's going to make you happy? Because you know what? In my book, I remember all the money I lost in the stock market during that time. And I was thinking about how many shoes that could have bought me, or how many Gucci purses that could have cost me, or I could have bought with losing all the money in the stock market. That's the other side of the sword we don't talk about. We don't talk about maybe stocks falling and people losing money. Well, what could you have bought with that money that you lost in the stock market? Were you better off to buy the Gucci handbag then? Were you better off to buy that fishing boat then? Were you better off to buy those tools then that could have made you more money in a different business? See, just buy what makes you happy because life is too short. I'm a fabric junkie. I love fabrics, and I probably don't need any more. And I have some friends on here that they travel the globe looking for fabrics, and I really connect with them. And anyway, but when the pandemic hit, what happened? Oh! There was no thread in the stores. There was no fabric in the stores. And who did they call? Saying, I really need this and that. Can you help me out? Oh, sure. I I can sell you a yard of that. But anyway, sometimes when we follow our bliss and what makes us happy, other people don't understand. Are you better off to spend money on that Gucci purse to keep you out of spending money on a therapist? Therapists are expensive, people. Insurance, health insurance is expensive. How do you not know those tools that you passed up because everyone says you need to invest in this stock and this stock? How do you know those tools weren't going to make you money by building a house or building a new craft that you could sell or turned into an amazing business? See, there's other avenues to look at what makes you happy, okay? Maybe other people don't understand, but maybe we need to think about these things a little bit more. If we didn't buy the tools up at Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever you buy your tools, would they really still be in business? Sometimes people depend on our shopping to keep them in business. Yeah. And that is giving. That's where you look at spending is giving. If no one bought a house, what would happen to the real estate market? If nobody, we can't just be hoarding money. We need to bless other people, bless other businesses, bless what makes us happy, because no one ever says, what makes you happy? So what makes you happy? I think for once, if we focus on our bliss, what makes us feel great, and it gives us our freedom, it's going to eliminate a lot of other expenses that we don't realize. Maybe going on that expensive trip, maybe spending more money on that luxury trip, that you will meet someone that's going to make your business catapult to the next level. I remember the last cruise that I went on, and I really had the best time of my life. And you know what? That last trip to me was absolutely priceless. I really experienced true freedom on that last trip. And I was thinking, I do have some really extremely wealthy contacts. But sometimes when I look at them, yes, they have money. They'll never want for anything. But do they really have the freedom? Do they have the freedom to jump on a cruise ship and be gone for a week without any interruptions? No, they wouldn't. And when I did that, I was like, you know what? I have absolutely real freedom. And I felt really free, and it's kind of what I've been what I'm trying to get across to people when I jumped on that cruise ship. And I felt like, you know what? I could do this for a whole year. Just jumping on a cruise ship from port to port. But I realized, gosh, I have a family. I have a stuff. I have all these things. And so sometimes I was examining things, and I realized sometimes when you have less, you do have more, because not too many people have that sense of freedom to just escape. And I don't want to say escape, but to really live. We say it's an escape, but to me, I think it was really living. And we try to make people feel guilty about escaping into things that they really like. So anyway, that's my message for today is experience freedom, experience bliss, follow your heart, what makes you happy. Because happiness, your happiness does matter. It does matter. And it will eliminate a lot of expenses. Now, for those of you that escape into certain things and you're gone forever and you can't interact with important people in your life, that's a little bit different, you know. That's where it becomes bad. When you lose your family over you escaping and you don't have that balance, well, that's a different situation. Okay. So anyway, be happy today. Do what makes you happy. And through that, you're going to experience massive freedom. And it's going to come with ease, not struggle. So what is meant for you is going to be easier. Bye, you guys. Bye, Stephen.